Hello friends! Today I'm super excited to bring this review to you. It's something a bit different since it's not paint, but it's still a tool that's a key part of my process. This is a Lightpad made by DBMier. It functions exactly like a lightbox and it's generally used to help transfer lines from one surface to another. It works like tracing paper. In this case, the transparency is created by a strong light rather than by the thinness of the paper. The Lightpad came snugly packaged in a big box with a lot of protective foam, a small paper booklet, and the power cord. There was also a small packet of tracing paper kindly included in the box. It's a big box for something quite sleek and lightweight. With the way I like to work, I need a Lightpad or a lightbox. I usually sketch out paintings digitally because it's faster, and then I can print the sketch out and trace it onto my watercolor paper. I've used many lightboxes and I'll show them here so you can compare yourself. The first lightbox here is originally from the craft tile at the art supply store. It's fairly simple, with an on-off switch, one level of lighting, and a relatively small work surface. It's quite raised, and the surface is slightly angled. What I don't like of this box. First, the light is located at the top, so the lighting is stronger there and weaker at the bottom. Then, since this box is raised and small, I often crease my paper on the edges when I move it around to trace. Also, the pegs that hold the plexiglass are raised and always in the way. This second lightbox is quite impressive on its own. It's huge. Large surface to work, but also quite bulky and heavy. It's an old professional lightbox, maybe used by traditional artists or animators when all that was made on paper instead of mostly digitally. I had a hard time fitting it into frame. It's sturdy, with a very large working surface and one super bright light setting. What I don't like of this box. It's heavy and large, and since I have small hands, it's a lot of work to set out. It's so thick that I can't use it at my normal desk and I have to borrow workspace to use it. That can be problematic if that space is already occupied. The unique light setting is so bright that it ends up being too bright, and I have to tone it down by putting a couple of extra 11 by 17 sheets onto the box. And finally, our main feature. The most striking characteristic of this Lightpad is how thin it is, which is why I can't call it a light box. It is only 5 mm thick. The surface is super smooth and there are rulers on the light surface in centimeters. The lighting is nice and even, and unique characteristic, this Lightpad has 3 levels of lighting. The on-off button is touch sensitive. It cycles through the 3 levels of lighting, then lights off. You can unplug the power cord, which makes transporting or storing this tool even easier. It's thin enough that I was able to squeeze it between two small storage units on my desk. Out of the way, but within reach. It also has 4 rubber knobs glued under it, which makes it very non-slippery. It takes a lot of pushing to nudge it. Before giving my opinion in details about this Lightpad, I suggest we take it through a bit of a test run. I have the sketch that I did digitally and printed. I want to transfer it to Arches paper so I can paint it. Let's go! So, how did that go? Impressively well, to be honest. I can use this Lightpad at the lowest setting necessary to see through my papers, and that spares my eyes. It's so thin that I can use it any angle I want, and it doesn't create a situation where I crease my paper while tracing. It's easy to set up, I can store it vertically, and it takes almost no desk space. Also, the Lightpad stays nicely cool under the touch. I tried hard to find something to nitpick, and all I was able to find is that the touch-sensitive button might get in the way, depending on your handedness and where your electrical outlets are. It might also be a bit of a puzzle to find a way to store it, since it doesn't come with a protective sleeve or a case. Many years ago, I was a student in traditional animation. Back then, I remember that one of the recurrent issues was that when you had too many sheets of animation paper stacked up, you couldn't see through them anymore. So I wanted to try and see how many pages of paper I could stack up before it was impossible to see what was on the very first page. That made for a grand total of 10 pages of animation paper stacked one on top of another at the highest light setting. I was able to flip the paper and see my test writing. It worked really well. This is a tool that I use anyway, so I'm very happy with this slim, lightweight, 3 levels of brightness, sleek, efficient, affordable, and pretty light pad. It was nice to sit comfortably and work with a tool that incorporates itself seamlessly into my work area. Even my cats showed up to check it out, and I think they approve of it as well. If you feel this is a tool that could be useful to you, the very nice people at DBMier provided me with discount codes for the Lightpad on both American and Canadian Amazon. I'll share them in the description box, so check it out. The Lightpad is affordable already, but an extra 20% off never hurts. I can't wait to use this Lightpad again. It is definitely my dream tracing tool. Thank you for watching and have a great day!